All right. Thanks everybody for joining tonight. It is Wednesday, January 24th, 2024, and it is our first just kind of monthly hangout stream of the year. I'm joined tonight by Swiggy and Gavin. Swiggy, how are you doing tonight, buddy? How's everything been?
I just want to say this is a great night for long-suffering not San Diego, Los Angeles Chargers fan. Harbaugh is going to LA because I guess that Michigan contract extension wasn't as imminent as Michigan fans told me it was.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we'll be getting into that here in just a moment for that. But yeah, what is it? Did they officially announce that he's gone? Or is it
Yeah,
just breaking like it's imminent?
it's a Chargers have announced it. Michigan AD is saying he's gone, so he's gone. He's gone. And you know what? I don't want to give I give
Oh,
social
you're right. I
media.
see it now. Yeah, it was 4 minutes ago from
Yeah,
Michigan football.
I give social media a lot of slack with this stuff because you want to hype people up. And I know why they're saying it, but my man, you do not want to tweet out who has it better than us when many people have it better than you right now.
Yeah,
Beat the
yeah. So
beat the Chiefs for the AFC West. Then we'll talk about who has it better.
yeah. Well, and like I said, we'll be getting to that in just a sec for that. Gavin, buddy, how are you doing today? How's your Wednesday going? How has been life in general? Okay.
Everything's been doing pretty good. First, I want to say, I want to give a shout out to my mom. It's her birthday, so happy birthday, mom! Love you and everything today. Um,
Well, I
but
am
I
so
was,
flattered that you're on the live stream tonight during Mom's birthday.
oh, I know. Well, we did a whole hangout today and everything too, and we are going to be celebrating later this weekend. Kind of a huge get together at Texas Roadhouse later for the weekend.
Nice, nice.
Yeah. Everything's been really good, is for the most part. But back to Jim Harbaugh and everything. I was like, the part of the other issues too is that with everything that you kind of gone through and everything that the NCAA is going after you for, I don't know if you want to be sticking around for next season. If they're wanting to basically handing you that sort of punishment.
Yeah, yeah, and we can jump right into that. So just as a reminder, everybody, this is just our Wednesday hangout. So you're more than welcome to join us in the chat. Our description to invite is in the description below. Just remember, have a headset. You don't have to have video or anything. Just something so we have to filter through the background noise and everything. But you're more than welcome to hang out with us. We'll probably be live streaming here for about an hour, maybe an hour and a half if we get some good in-depth conversation going, and then we'll probably look forward to our next live stream. So, well, as Swiggy brought it up and Gavin started, we'll start from there. Let's start Michigan. So that's been a big one. It was announced today that breaking news that Jim Harbaugh has been courting some other some NFL teams again, and it looks like he finally made his home at the Chargers. Um, I think honestly, I think it's a really dirtbag move for what he did, not leaving the university for it, but it's a dirtbag move that he was having NFL teams like almost compete against each other, using Twitter to compete the NFL teams against each other, and kind of waiting till like you can't enroll in classes anymore. That's a really big dirtbag move from Harbaugh. Like if you're gonna go, dude, just leave. Don't wait until like students can't transfer out anymore. Because I think a vast majority, if they follow the same ish, roughly ish calendar that I'm seeing for like OCU, OCCC, and everything, where I think the last day is like January, like 15th and everything like that. Like it's not fair to the players. That's just holding them hostage at that point. Now I don't know.
Yeah, but I'd be more holding him hostage if he went to another NCAA school. NFL, just way the NFL works.
But they can't transfer, Andrew. The window may be open, but they can't enroll.
I mean, that's unfortunate. I don't think it's a scumbag thing because I mean, interviews take time, And a lot of these teams have a lot of these teams have a lot of interviews. They interview a lot of guys over wild card weekend, and then they and now like they can't hire anyone or interview anyone from the final four teams. So I mean it's a badly kept secret. Like honestly, this could have happened the day after the NFL season. It would not have shocked me, but I mean there are some things the NFL does have to do. Like don't forget the NFL does have to follow the spirit of the Rooney Rule, interview a minority candidate. So it's not just like college with where Alabama can just hire DeBoer within 3 days. NFL takes a little while. Unfortunately, that does suck for for Michigan student athletes, but whatever. They won a championship. Don't feel too bad for them.
I do, because like if you're going to have people join and everything, it's if you're going to have people enroll and you're going to have people go to other schools, like all you're doing is preventing them from being able to being able to enroll, learn the system and everything, and now you're going to have to wait for them in the summer. I think it's a dirtbag move. I really do.
It is what it is. Most guys don't jump from college to the NFL, so I don't. That said, we talk about dirtbag moves. Harbaugh spent the last 2 off seasons trying to leave Michigan. Any Michigan student athlete who is surprised that Harbaugh has suddenly jumped ship, they need to get a better education. Because
I don't think anybody is surprised that Harbaugh jumped ship. Like the moment that the sign stealing was like apparent, like y'all are going to be hit really hard. Everyone knew like, well, time to win it and get out. Better enjoy it for the next month. So
Fine.
I mean,
enjoy it for the month. Wait, who's enjoying what for a month?
Oh, I'm talking Michigan. People have enjoyed it for a month because they'll vacate whatever it is.
Yeah, they don't care. What you gonna take away their memories? It's like you're not gonna do that. It happened. It happened.
It's gonna be like the 100 years that are missing in One Piece, Sean. They're gonna be missing. Remember, did we actually play this game?
I don't even what are they gonna do? I think they don't control the college football playoff, the NCAA. So what's it matter? Harbaugh was gonna leave because the worst kept secret was he was going to be suspended again next year, if not all of next year. And you call it a dirtbag move. It's like, no, it's he tried to take care of his school. Saban did the same thing, but guys are still bolting out of Alabama. So I don't see what the conundrum is. Like we're complaining that, well, these guys may or may not be able to go through spring ball. Oh, well. So they'll show up. I mean, most of these things, you're not getting brand new guys like out of high school per se, but at the same time, it's like, guys want to bolt from Michigan, they'll bolt. So I don't look at it as the dirtbag move. Trust me, there's been plenty of other dirtbag moves that have happened at the University of Michigan over the past 3 or 4 years that are way worse than Harbaugh. Him, like I heard you say, him playing the NFL with both teams or whatever. That's what his agent does. That's what he's supposed to. His agent's supposed to go out there and get him the best deal. That's what he did.
Yeah.
So I don't have a problem with that. Go get your money, Jim Harbaugh, you psycho. Because he's a crazy human being. He really is a crazy human being. And he believes his own bullshit. Now, like the things I hate at Michigan are like the the whole Doc Anderson thing and with Bo, whether Bo knew or not, they're dead. So what do you want us to do about it? I don't know. Admit about the 700, 800, 900 people that may have been assaulted by this doctor behind closed doors. Maybe you could acknowledge maybe some of that happened under your watch, and maybe not just celebrate Bo Schembechler this unceremoniously like you keep doing. But that's a whole nother topic for another day. But yeah, Harbaugh's gone. He's going back to the NFL. He's in his 60s. He'll be one of the second or third coach in the NFL next year who's still coaching in their 60s because it's a much younger man's game. being a head coach now.
Well, still, congratulations to Harbaugh. He finally accomplished the one thing he's wanted to do: get back to the NFL.
Yeah, he left at the best time. I got you a natty. You're all happy. I did, and he did everything. He decided a couple years ago, I am going to do everything possible to try to make this happen, which cheated by hook or by crook, and mostly crook. He did it. So again, no matter how much you can point to 2015 up through 2020, no one cares anymore. Because you started beating Ohio State, which was like accomplishment number 1. You got to the playoff, which is accomplishment number 2. And then third time's a charm, you won the whole damn thing. And cherry on top, you won a Rose Bowl and a natty. Congratulations. So
they'll keep Michigan fans happy for about 100 years.
I mean, and then Sherrone Moore, who is going to get the job, and the best thing for Michigan is that you don't have to change anything. He's going to run the same offense pretty much. You don't have to bring in a new guy. Sherrone Moore hasn't been officially announced yet or anything, but they'd be pretty stupid not to hire him because the whole team loves him. And he went out there and he cried. He acted like Harbaugh died after the Ohio State. Oh gosh, Harbaugh, I did this for you. He's eating chicken fingers and French fries back at the hotel. Like he had an inoperable brain tumor or something. And I was like, oh God, here we go. That's the only shit that I roll my eyes at. But get out. You won the last 14 playoff ever. Congratulations. He gone. So, and now everyone's trying to figure out who's the new face of college football. It's whoever you want it to be. When it comes to coaches, you pick. It could be Dabo, it could be Kirby Smart, it could be whoever you want it to be.
It's Dabo. Dabo's everything great and horrible about college football.
Well, no, Dabo sucks now because he can't win without Brent Venables. So
not fair.
And he still doesn't take guys from the portal. Bright move there, Dabo. Let's see how that works out for you in the long run.
Yeah, I mean, now,
they built the program on God's name, image, and likeness.
Yeah, what the fuck ever.
Yeah, Dabo is. That's why I said Dabo's college football. He's everything horrible and great about the sport all rolled into one, and there's not a non-zero chance of him just flaming out in 2 years.
Well, the entire sport right now is trying to force feed NIL as a subject, and I just want to stick my head into a garbage disposal.
I mean, I told it to Swiggy and Gavin off camera before we started. Like, I can't wait to get past this part of college football. I'm sorry. This is the shittiest part. Look, I know it's happened. People know my opinion, but I laugh. Anybody who's paying $25 a month as a subscription for NIL, you are a fool. I'm sorry. I have no.
I don't think it makes you a fool. It's just it all depends. It all depends if your school is aligned or not. Like that's the thing. If you have, because when this whole thing first started a couple of years ago, you had you had 4 fucking collectives starting up. So guys, can we get on the same page here? Because if I give to that collective, is it going to do anything more than that collective or this one? I think most of them have merged at this point, and we're trying to get to the point now where the schools can have control over it. It's just we're in that horrible trial and error process that's just annoying as hell. And just everywhere I go the past 2 weeks, it's NIL talk. And I have no problem with NIL specifically. I have problems with it's this big boogeyman that people point to for reasons why they fail, why their school is failing potentially. Well, Oklahoma is not doing NIL right. It's like, motherfucker, they had a top 10 recruiting class, and they had guys like David Stone and Nigel Smith and Taylor. You don't get those guys unless they're getting paid. So I understand it's like you point to the one position, offensive tackle. It's a problem. They're trying to address it. I know he didn't get Lance Hurd. That sucks. And we're going to have who's going to take those spots in spring ball? That's going to be the big question. Because you know what else is being asked about when it comes to OU football position-wise? You know who your quarterback is. the interior of your offensive line is going to be new, but you have enough talented pieces you can work with to put something together there. The D line's really exciting because you got a good combination of like guys who are coming back from last year with some fresh new blood who can get involved. The linebackers, Danny Stutzman is there, Cub McKenzie, Kip Lewis. The secondary is loaded with talent with Billy Bowman coming back. So wide receivers, oh my God, cannot wait to see Nick Anderson take the next step and everything. So we've got a couple of kickers we're going to throw out there that I'm sure you're going to hate if they miss a chip shot against Tulane. But at the end of the day, every position you feel fairly comfortable that there's the guy, or you have a good selection of highly talented guys who could be the guy, with the exception of like offensive tackle. You don't know if it's Jacob Sexton or the kid from Michigan State coming in, or who's going to play left or right. But behind them, you just don't know right now. So
yeah,
that's so they're going to hit the portal again in May. It's going to open up again. It's going to happen, and who know? You never know who's going to pop up as available. So, but I think the frustrating part is like you feel you have all of these potential pieces to, I don't know, maybe make a
run.
That's a little bit of a run people may or may not expect because you got a lot of tough games next year. Because if you don't have those pieces all in place, then it's going to be hard to go on the road at Ole Miss or LSU or even Missouri or wherever, or Auburn. So anyway,
I mean, I would add in too, Sean, with the NIL stuff as well. My own opinion aside of it, people are saying I think it's two also different voices coming from the crowd for the people who don't know, because you have some people who have been publicly stated on their show. So I have no shame of saying their names, like Gabe and Carrie, where it's like, no, everything's fine. Everything's fine with NIL. Y'all just need to let it go. But then you have the other side, like, bros, I can't. This website's garbage. Like, we can't enroll in it. Like, there's two different sides of it. They're not even acknowledging the issues internally on that. Well,
listen, me, whether I give money or not is not going to shake things up one way or another. The big money donors are always going to be what makes the difference. Whether I spend $5 or $25 is not going to turn the tide.
You're not going to be a high roller and be at $250 a month.
No, I have a lot of
sticker. You get a sticker, Sean.
Well, you see, here's the thing. There's a lot of like companies out there online that allows you may have noticed this. If you do a lot of online shopping, there's a lot of options for splitting big purchases into four payments over the course of 6 to 8 weeks. And, it's like, I want to donate a lot of money. Maybe you can spread that out for the next 2 months. Your first payment's due in 2 weeks. It's like a credit card, but from your checking account or something else. It's like dealing with getting a credit card without actually having a credit card. So I've been using this option for some
like Firm and everything.
Firm and Sezzle and stuff like that. So if you're familiar with those things, Chase has a thing that's built into the bank account already, which I'm a big fan of. I'm not going to be doing it. If I'm going to drop $250 on something, hell, I'm not even dropping $250 on the UCF game for OU I'm going to next weekend. So I'm getting a ticket for like $6 to get in that place.
The thing that makes me laugh on it, from OU announcing their NIL stuff for like, join now, go do our $2 million campaign. The thing that cracks me up, as someone who has lots of artist friends, people in the industry for comics, I just laugh. It's like, if you sign up for this and you're an early adopter, you get a sticker. I'm like, my dudes, there are people with Patreon with better rewards than what you're offering. Like, come on, guys. At least
I don't really offer any. I have a Patreon that like 5 people subscribe to, but I don't do anything with it because it's like, you should get a Patreon. I'm like, all right, I really don't do anything with it. It's just supporting me in general. So
yeah, I'm talking like the people like artists and everything, where it's like, all right, you get some art pieces, you get to vote on our stuff, you get to do X, Y, and Z. Like, you have enough money, throw a hat at people.
There was the one that I gave $5 for a couple months as just a whatever, and it's like you'll get access to talk to the players. It
never happened.
Well, no, it did happen. It's just the fact I don't really want to talk to the players because I'm 41 and I don't need to talk to them as a fanboy. If I did talk to them, I'd want to interview them, like as as a quasi-professional that I am.
It's the difference of meeting them in like an autograph line and like doing a casual handshake versus I want to spend the money for the sponsor badge and sit down and like chat with you.
Well, I have like weird people who go to my live streams. I'm like, are you going to a softball game this year? And I'm like, yeah, I'll probably go to one of the UCF games in April or something like that. Are you going to get the players' autographs? It's like, no, because I'm 41 and that'd feel creepy and weird if I go up to some 19-year-old softball player and get her autograph. For me, that would feel awkward and weird. I'm not going to do that. Are you get your picture taken with them? I'm like, no. Same answer for before.
Now, to be fair, Sean, I've been told that even when I started this, that at some point it's like you get an exception to the rule because it's an everything thing. But yeah, it's gonna get awkward at some point. Where
someone said you should get your flag like your specifically. You should get a flag like that. I'm like, no,
really.
It's like I'm not doing that.
Yeah, this was a labor of love. Like,
well, no, for like my flag I have, it's like I don't iron it or anything. I just don't give a shit. It's just up there. It's just up there, so I don't have a blank wall behind me. And
yeah,
if I get a superior flag one day, I will. I have no really attachment to that or the fact that it's just behind me. It's like it's just a simple. It was a $30 flag I got on Amazon, so I could say,
and mine was started when I was 18, so it's like. This is well over 10, 15 years old.
Yes, I'm not an autograph.
It's an exception to the rule.
Yeah, I'm not an autograph guy. So it's like, I don't seek out autographs because it's just not that I don't care. It's just I'm just like, I just don't do it.
I have an acquaintance who, they're an exception to the rule too. They have one of the original benches from OU when they first redid the stadium, and it has. She knew people because I think she knew the chef.
Is it a metal bench?
No, it's wooden.
Oh God! So
yeah, players signed it like it was like a notoriety thing. Like it's massive though. I think it takes
benches. Just keep that in a air conditioned place and don't let it rot and get.
Don't let the termites get to it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, you mentioned going to the game and stuff, man. That was a bummer, by the way, of OU dropping that game against Texas.
Well, the universe. Well, the universe has, it's all about creating balance. So, congrats to the women tonight for going on the road and beating Texas. So,
they took care of business.
So, well, I mean, it was an upset. So, OU women have not been like great this year, but you know what? It's like Thanos with a little dagger. Everything's perfectly balanced. So,
yep.
We we are 1-1 respectively in men's and women's hoops against the Longhorns. So we'll get a shot in Austin at the end of the regular season. But yeah, it was disappointing to watch it last night because like for Porter Moser, it's like, okay, this is the year he's actually putting something together, and it's like now you're finally going to beat Texas and Oklahoma State, right? Well, so far he's 0 for 1. So it feels like teams should play a little better last night at home. And just watching that game, it's like
it was rough.
The crowd before the game, like the crowd, like students showed up, but there was like no energy. You could tell you could not feel the energy in that crowd. The only time it felt like it got up is that when Moore got those back-to-back dunks. It was like, okay, they got something going here. But then just at the end of the latter of the part of the second half, Texas just kept. It was an ugly game, and they just kept on making a few shots here and there, and I was like, well, and they're not going to catch up. So it just kind of died quickly, and everyone just started taking off. I don't blame them, but I don't know. Like I thought this was the year that they could. I don't expect them to win the conference or anything, but this isn't a
tournament.
It's not. Yeah, I mean, it's not a great Texas team. It's not like they're fantastic,
right?
And you should have maybe played a little bit better at home. And I'm kind of back to the drawing board with OU men's basketball. It's like, well, they don't really. I mean, McCollum's a solid player. I just don't know if they don't necessarily have that guy because we don't have a Buddy Hield or a Trae Young who can take over a game. Now, like Trae Young's special, and you don't just the reason you got that guy because he literally lived down the street and you were able to keep him home. But anyway, to be determined. They got Texas Tech on Saturday. We'll see what happens there.
I mean, the problem is basketball. It's going through the cycle of during the non-conference, they look fantastic, and they look like you can finally say they're a team. They're doing it, and then the moment they hit the conference, they start beating teams they're not supposed to, and then losing teams they should be beating. And it's the same argument every year of, oh, how do we get the fans here? Here's the first step, guys. Beat the teams that you're supposed to beat. You can't keep calling the fans out there saying pack the field and then lose. You can't go 1-8.
Well, you missed out on your final opportunity to win at Allen Fieldhouse. So it's like, all right, well, it is Kansas, and they're tough to beat. Like on the road, you can beat Kansas, but it's like, okay, fine, it's Kansas.
Kansas is impossible to beat.
I can live with that.
Yeah.
Texas, okay, so you got one more shot at Texas at the end of the year, and you got 2 games against OSU. In which, once again, when we go back to the football side, this is the last chance you guys are going to play each other. So everyone's going to want to really win that one. I would hope that Lloyd Noble has a little energy for that one. We'll see. Because Stillwater is going to be energetic for that one, regardless of what type of team you roll out there. But anyway, that's kind of it for basketball as far as I can tell.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, the point is it's just, I feel bad for OU basketball in the sense of they are literally we don't have a sport really to pay attention to until softball. You are now while we wait for softball.
Wait a minute. What about women's gymnastics though?
Well, it's funny you say that because when they were doing the wide pan of the Lloyd Noble Center, you saw all the gymnastics banners up there. And it's just like, we all know what really wins in this building. It's the gymnastics. It's the gymnastics teams. Both of them.
Gavin, I'm not discluding gymnastics, but it's not really televised. Like, it's difficult to. If it was on TV, I think people would more rally.
Wait a minute, you're telling me? I mean, we had it. They were on the ABC, a couple weeks ago when they were going up against UCLA, LSU, and Utah.
When it was like a 1 through 5, sure.
The only time I ever win, or the only time I ever watch gymnastics, it's usually when, the national title meet is on right now. How do I watch it? Turn to this channel. I have no idea what the fuck they're doing half the time, but usually people are cheering and being happy anyway. And I'm waiting for judges to give this, quote unquote unbiased score. And did we win? Neat, cool. All right. I have no idea how, but there was the balance beam thing. Then there was the freestyle performance thing, whatever Kimberly did in Power Rangers and shit. Yeah, okay. That's usually. If you want me to do play-by-play for gymnastics, you're good fucking luck for me. I was like, she's doing a dance and she did a backflip here and she twirled and she's got ribbons.
When I worked for Sooner Vision, that was one of my favorite sports to work scoreboard for. I loved watching gymnastics. It was fun. I learned a whole lot. Interpretive is very, very subjective, but like bounce beam and everything. Like, I understand the scoring system, but a lot of people don't. They don't understand what they're looking for, what they're trying to do. Like, it's how much when you plant, how much like sway and everything. Does your foot move? Like, there's a lot of technical to it.
Right.
It's not clear cut and dry like I hit the ball and go to first base type of deal.
Yeah, those are kind of my sports, but I usually go. They won. All right, yay, we won. That's I'm not trying to like. I'm not trying to discount. I just have no idea what anything means. So.
Well, it's also they don't.
I understand when Grace Lyons goes to the plate and goes, ball gets pitch, hit ball, round bases, score. Okay, I understand that. Pretty simple.
Well, and the other part of it too is looking at even the gymnastics stuff. Our next even live event isn't until March 1st on ESPN2. Like, it's hard to get
the deuce
gymnastics when you have more than a month away, and our last one I think was on ESPN Plus with Denver. Or I'm sorry, it's in 2 days and then it's March. Like, it's hard to have a casual fan invested when it's a month on television.
I plan to have my big softball.
I don't want to downplay that. They are good, but you're not going to have fans until like the national championship.
Exactly. Well, I plan to have my big softball preview with Eric like next week, so get ready for that. I try to all right, they've now won 3 in a row. What's next for OU softball?
4 in a row.
Pretty much. The stadium's going to be ready by March, it looks like, and for the OU home tournament, because first they're going to go out to Mexico and conquer another nation because they've already taken care of the United States. I would have gone with Canada first, but it turns out they don't know what softball is up there. They tried to play a version of it on ice, and I don't think that's legal under NCAA rules. So, we're going to go to
give our players a challenge,
Can you play softball on ice without skates? And, you might tear a few knees trying to just run on the slick ice there.
Oh man, call the XFL to watch that.
Oh, there is no more XFL. They have
USFL.
No. You see, they have merged.
No, they both merged.
They have merged, so the UFL. So by their powers combined, they're the UFL, and it's a spring league that people still won't watch.
I mean, yeah, you're not wrong. People don't care about it. I'm sorry. It's
I need a break from football. As much as I love football,
I do too.
I need a break from it. I lost my damn mind about a week ago, and I'm like, I need to get away from this stuff for a little bit. It's driving me insane. And because I just lost my damn mind, and I screamed into the microphone, and still because it's the month of January, YouTube advertisers hate YouTubers of the month. It's literally fuck you. It's January.
Yeah.
All that ad revenue you're used to making in November, December, we're cutting that bitch in half. Good luck. Oh, fuck yeah. So, anyway,
was no, and I'm not poking the bear or anything. Was it screaming because of the Dallas game, or was it?
Oh no, you didn't see my rant last Monday.
Oh, I did. That's the one you're referring to. You're right about the dum-dums. Yeah.
I hear Ari fucking Wasserman, who's finger wagging OU fans, telling us to get over things. Should you guys get over it now? And then he's having pity parties for Arizona about coaches poaching players and how there should be rules where that shouldn't happen. I'm like,
you know what?
Are you fucking kidding me?
You know what? Arizona deserves whatever they get. They literally they didn't match an offer. Let the AD make a new hire, and then a week later fire the old AD.
But my argument has nothing to do with Arizona. It's just the mindset of oh, we're gonna have pity parties for Arizona, which, by the way, Mr. Ari Wasserman is a grad. Hint, hint. So, just mind I'm hearing all of this bullshit for 2 years, and it's oh, poor Arizona. What will become of this Power 5 school who just abandoned their conference for a better payday? Oh no! What will become of the Arizona Wildcats? Fuck the Arizona Wildcats. Fuck all of you people.
But Sean, their conference just died. They had to go out east.
Yeah, and and each of them got to put a bullet in the corpse.
It had 10 bullets when we found it.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, we're not crying. Let's cry for not Washington State, Oregon State, mind you.
No, of course not.
We're crying for Arizona. But their fans fans like that just don't have. They'll never have hope. Oh my God, they'll never have hope. Take your hope and shove it up your ass.
They never have hope anyway.
We see what happens with hope.
You are who you are.
Be happy that you got to join a power league in the mid-70s, and you got to have that grandfathered in mindset that you're a Power 5 conference team, and that you get to move on to the jambalaya that is the Big 12 next year, and you're surviving you're surviving in numbers because there's a bunch of B+ talent all across that conference, and who knows who's gonna take that now. But anyway, I don't have to worry about Big 12 football anymore. I don't have to give a shit about Big 12 football ever again. God, it feels so good to say that.
It really does. It really does.
I do not have to because everything else has been more interesting. We're in a oh God, I don't have to look up K-State rosters, and I don't have to look up Texas Tech and see what they're doing. Is like because I pay attention to teams like Alabama and Georgia anyways. Like, oh my God, we're actually involved with these teams. We can actually like focus on that. I don't have to pretend to like. I never pretended, but like, I don't have to like put the effort in for Big 12 shit anymore. It's like, thank God. Yeah. And I never really had to put the energy because OU and Texas had the better players, and Texas kept failing up until recently, and then we're going to be there in the end anyway. It doesn't matter. It's just.
I mean, it's nice to just. What you said, we don't have to deal with the bullshit anymore. We wanted to leave 2 years ago, but they wanted their payday and everything for it. So
I don't have to watch OU play a garbage team when there's a better game on I'd rather watch. That was always annoying. God, there's a really good game on, but OU's game is happening. I have to watch it, and it's like they're going to win by 50.
Yeah,
it's like, no more of that shit. I mean, we have 3 non-conference games to start the year that are whatever they are, but going into next year, it's like all these big time quarterbacks are just gone now. So everyone's trying to figure out what quarterbacks are left over that are worth a shit, or who are the established QBs, and I don't think they exist for the most part. It's like, who's out there, who's left? Because Drake May is gone, Caleb's gone, Michael Penix is gone. JJ McCarthy is gone.
Quinn Ewers, it is your time.
Oh, God, that's right.
Just for him to fall.
Quinn's back, baby. One of the best silver linings about the way the year happened. Yeah, we didn't win the Big 12 going out the door. You know what? If you put a gun to my head, said, what do you want more, the golden hat or the Big 12? I'll take the goddamn hat every time.
Correct.
Just when it comes to last year. But because it's like, you want to, here's all our Big 12 trophies, and they're not swimming trophies, by the way. They're actually football trophies. We got plenty of those. But yeah, it's like we get to double dip because Texas is going to. I've seen Texas as high as preseason number 2 in these 2 early fucking polls, and we have possession of the hat. No, I love we get to do the not believing on us shit all over again, and that's just exactly the way I want it. I saw like College Football News did we're gonna predict every SEC game. I go to our schedule, they have us at 9-3 with wins over specifically Missouri and Alabama, 2 games I desperately want to get. They have us losing Ole Miss on the road, LSU on the road, and one more. They got us losing to Texas, and I'm like, thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for that. Thank God. Oh, because if we go 9-3 with that schedule, I will scream from the mountaintop. So 12-team playoff, you say? I'm looking right here at strength of schedule, and that Big 10 team you want to put in there, fuck them. Win over Bama, fuck you. Win over Missouri, allegedly, who's good. Fuck you. Beat a win over Tennessee, by the way, was what they're predicting. So, I can't wait for next year. It's gonna be so much fun.
Yeah, but
it is going to be so much fun next year. Because if we go 9-3, I will say, well, put us in SEC. Gotta do it. Not in the Big 12. But I'm certain we'll fuck up some way. They'll fuck up something. But anyway.
I haven't said it on live stream yet, Sean, but I'm still blaming you that you spoke into existence Nick Saban retiring. Like, you mentioned that almost, I think, a year ago. Like, oh yeah, I think he's getting
I don't really take credit for that, because it's just like, it wasn't that, like, a lot of people predict Nick Saban to potentially go, so it's not like it's not unique to me. It's like but
that was the first time you said it, and somewhere some Make-A-Wish kid was like, oh, gotta grant this.
Well, no, it's like common sense. It's like predicting Harbaugh was going to leave, but this year one way or another. It's like, that's not like a big. That's That's not even a plus 200 on a bet. It's like a minus 3.
He doesn't look it, but he is super old.
Like Saban's in his 70s. It's like, dude, you're in your 70s. You look great. You're not like struggling. You're not Bear Bryant like a couple months before he fucking killed over. Like, don't be Bear Bryant.
Didn't Bear like he retired and then like
he retired and died like 2 months. He died like 2 months later.
Yeah,
something like that. It's like, and the same thing with Paterno. Paterno got fired and he literally dies like a few days later. It's like you don't end up like that. Enjoy your golden years, dude. Like there's nothing left for you to accomplish. There's nothing left for Nick Saban to accomplish at all. Like, what do you? Oh, I'm going to win another. Like, what's it matter? Like, they gave you your fucking statue after the first one. I mean, my God. Like, I mean, just right away, you have a statue. Literally, after your third year on campus, you have a statue, and it's like, you want a natty? Fine, okay. That's the bare minimum to get a statue at Bama. All right. For us, it's like coaches that win 100 games. I think that was like the precedent set. So there will be no statue for the previous head coach. We know that.
Nope. Sucks to be him.
There was a statue like that. I put on I'd cosplay as Attack on Titan gear and cut the back of its fucking neck off. With the music playing in the background.
Slice.
There's a statue of this motherfucker here? Nope.
That'd be great as a great tradition of that.
I would cut
the statue missing. Well, you see, kids, it's been a tradition.
I cut the head off like the head of Jebediah Springfield in the classic Simpsons episode. Just like where Bart steals Jebediah Springfield's head.
Classic.
See, someone here gets that reference. That's a classic Simpsons episode.
That's super classic. Well, yeah. Well, Bart was the original bad boy chopping heads off statues.
Yeah. That was back when Bart was the main character. Then slowly they realized, wait, Homer should be the main character. Homer's funny.
Yeah.
You need to watch fucking Simpsons, goddammit.
I do. I know. I've been told. Swiggy, you're the one that did the rewatch for Simpsons a little bit, didn't you?
Yeah. During COVID, I watched every Simpsons.
Yeah. And then you stopped around like, well, I'm around season 9. I can shut it down.
No, I would not. No, I went all the way.
Why? Oh God! Why would you do that?
Because I had to see. I had to.
No, you didn't. The Simpsons became utter trash after once you get into the double-digit seasons. It's like no. It lost what made it special.
I had to see. I just went. Am I a madman? Yes. Yes, I am.
Watching that shit.
And yet they can somehow see the future.
It was during COVID. I couldn't. During COVID, I couldn't do.
There's a lot of things you do during COVID. There's a lot of different things you do. I did a lot of different things. I didn't binge anything past season 8 or 9 on that show. Fuck that shit. No. Not even close. There's a lot of things I'd rather watch. I always do a Sopranos rewatch every few years.
Oh, Sopranos is really good.
Anyway. Football.
What speak football with it, man. Football. I felt bad for Baker over the weekend. I just had a feeling that game was just not going to go their way after. Detroit Lions fans thought they're going to win that shit 42-9, and it's like, no, you're not. You're probably going to win, but Detroit fans were they were smoking that hopium hard, and it's like, bitch, this is the NFL. I understand Tampa Bay may be the quote unquote easiest team left to beat of the remaining teams last weekend, but no, dude, you needed every play to go your way. When Mike Evans decided he wanted to catch the football, the Buccaneers were really good. So it was just, I think Baker's going to get a deal with Tampa Bay, and they can build around him. Baker's never going to be considered a top 5 quarterback in the league, but he can get you to the playoffs.
Oh, definitely. Baker.
And,
Oh, definitely. Baker.
and you could win a Super Bowl with just a quote unquote, I don't want to call him good enough, but you can, if you build the pieces around him, you can get there and you can make a run, especially with that fucking division. Jesus. Like Bill Belichick at Atlanta or not, it's like
Yeah.
that division's winnable every year, especially if you have the quarterback situation figured out. So,
well, I think too with Baker, he's in the right system for him. I think you could say like he excels in the system versus himself.
he's playing his best football in his career, pretty much. Like the last few weeks,
Yeah.
like Tampa had no business being in the playoffs. Like, no one in that division had business being there, but they finished really strong. I mean, they had a bad the week the week before the end of the regular season. They took a loss they probably shouldn't have. But it's just something like the Saints have their number for whatever reason. It's like New Orleans has their number lately,
just like the Kansas City with the Bills.
Yeah, just
I saw grown. Actually good. So
well, yeah, but Kansas City is good, but they're not quite the same team they were a couple of years ago. But even so, it's like you saw grown men cry in that stadium. Literally, they showed grown men crying, and that was the game. I couldn't wait to watch that game. I was like, all right, you know what, Detroit, Tampa Bay didn't go the way I wanted to. That's fine. But you know what? I am looking forward. I'm going to watch this game because this is going to be great. And it lived up to the hype. And just, you got Josh Allen trying to do way too much when he doesn't have to. Just get it, dude. You have like a minute 40 and you're in the red zone. Just get a first down.
Yeah.
Just get a first down. Yeah. And plus, you know what happened the last time you scored too quick and you gave the ball back to Kansas City. You remember what happened. You gave that motherfucker a minute and he fucked you. He fucked you. And it's like he's trying to force it to the end zone. It's like, dude, you have Stephon Diggs in a drag route underneath. Get it to him. And then of course they throw it away and I audibly, when I saw that kick was going wide right, I literally just by myself screamed out loud, "Oh no!" And just I felt everyone's fucking heart sink from thousands of miles away in upstate New York. I'm just like, oh no.
I have a friend who's a Bills fan, and I just felt terrible. I was rooting for the Bills that game. So
I mean, I'm a Cowboys fan, so we could talk about whatever my fucking pain is, but I could at least say I witnessed 3 Super Bowls in my lifetime. Like actual wins, not participating, but wins, and 2 of them came at the cost of the Bills. But it's like it just that fucking
Bills are always the bridesmaids, never the brides.
That fucking franchise, man, they had to deal with for a couple years like the threat of moving to Toronto, and then it's like just Josh Allen just doing Josh Allen things. And you think this is the year they're going to do it. And they struggled early on. They rebounded. Maybe this is it. And, man, I don't know. Baltimore looks like they're on a mission. Like I know they've had their games where they, the Texans, the CJ Stroud gave them everything they could handle, but it's the playoffs. Like Kansas City, Baltimore is must-see TV. Just must see. I mean, I mean, Detroit and San Francisco, I don't trust Brock Purdy. I'm sorry. Like,
he's overdue for Iowa State Brock Purdy.
But
he is very overdue for it.
I don't like I feel like it's another situation. It's like with it's like San Francisco has just, whether it's Garoppolo or before him, when they played the Ravens, who was their quarterback in the Super Bowl?
Kaepernick.
Yeah, Colin Kaepernick. I was like, I can't believe I forgot that. But it was like, they for whatever reason, they just can't seem to get the quarterback right. And usually it's because they have everything else. They got solid defense. They got great corners. They got tight end receivers. Like Trent Williams is how old in the league, and he still murders people.
Yeah.
He gets personal foul calls for ticky-tack stuff. It's like, well, I understand because Trent Williams has. He's a mutant.
A monster.
He's a monster and he can murder you. And he's going to get a gold jacket regardless of whether he gets a ring or not. And it just, I mean, I'm kind of like, everyone's like, who are you rooting for? Aren't you rooting for Detroit? I'm like, no, not really. I don't give a shit if Detroit wins or not. I don't give a fuck. Like, if San Francisco wins, Trent gets a Super Bowl ring. I'd be happy for him. If Kansas City wins, it's more rings for Creed and James Winchester and Blake Bell.
Right? Yeah.
And then, like, if Baltimore wins, Mandrews gets his ring. I guess Ben Powers too. That's off the top of my head. But, like, Mandrews is kind of like the main
person. Yeah.
And plus, they held on again, and they finally get him back this week, apparently. So
yeah,
I would love for Mark Andrews to get a Super Bowl ring. So if you're an OU fan, you got a 75% chance of an OU player or two getting a ring. So there's nobody at Detroit. So it's like, if Detroit don't win it, I ain't losing sleep over it. So
I'm and feel free to tell me I'm wrong on it. I'm not convinced that Detroit can beat Baltimore or KC.
Well, Baltimore, Baltimore just whooped their ass big time in the regular season. So if you want to preview what that game could look like, potentially could, they got their asses whooped.
If you ever want to buy into an underdog narrative, just remember, NFL is all about one game. So you can,
okay.
I'm just saying, like,
the NFL is not all about one game, but it's like, because if that was true, then nobody would watch.
What I meant is, even if you're an overwhelming favorite, you don't have to beat them in a series. You don't have to beat them in a best of 5. You just have to beat it.
Good Lord, could you imagine? Could you imagine football being forced to play a best of 7? Oh God.
But yeah,
the drama that would happen.
No, like the people that would die. Like it's game 3. We're about to die because the two best teams keep going at each other, and like people like we don't have a
2 months. You got to give them time to rest for 2 months.
No. Just keep it like you play in 2 days. You play in 2 or 3 days.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but
so we're going for ACL tears. Okay.
Yeah.
Ravens should be heavily favored. They have everything. They really should have everything going for them. The only thing, they're at home. Their defense looks nasty. The only reason you wouldn't take the Ravens are because Texans are a really young team. So some of how the Ravens might have looked last week might have been a little. They took advantage because C.J. Stroud's a rookie, and they're playing against
a damn good rookie though.
Oh, great rookie. Yeah.
I mean, to me, C.J. Stroud's gets his more deserving of hype than fucking Deshaun Watson ever was.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Like,
this is like apologize for it. I think
no. It's like ever since Deshaun Watson got in the league, he was like crowned. He played 6. Like, I remember his rookie year, played 6 amazing games. He got hurt. Like, the dude is fucking injury prone. Forget the fact that he's a piece of shit. He's also injury prone as fuck, and. Everyone wants to use against everybody who's like, whether it was Bradford or whatever. Like, you can put a bunch of names out there, get hurt all. Like, that motherfucker's hurt all the time. It's like, look what Deshaun Watson did, like, for Cleveland at the end of the year. Like, congratulations, he got hurt again, and then you go to the playoffs, and then you made it, and then you're out. So, like, congratulations.
Deshaun really is the. It's not an if he will get injured, it's when he will get injured, and how much will it impact your team.
Yeah. So congratulations, you overpaid for a guy who's a piece of shit and will likely get hurt again. This is end of the day. I just don't buy this. I never got the Deshaun Watson stuff ever. College, he was a hell of a player. Awesome. Threw a lot of picks in college, but we just conveniently ignore that because, well, that's college. You don't want to throw a lot of picks in college, but. Like, dude has like double-digit picks like his junior year in college. It was like insane. Yeah. Insane how many picks he threw.
Yeah.
It's like that was against ACC competition. So
it's Deshaun is such a conundrum because to me, Deshaun reminded me, and I'm feel free to say I'm too off base on it. He and Lamar to me reminded when they first entered the league. Lamar is going the right direction, and Deshaun is going the other direction. When I think it could have easily flipped at that point, but I think
Lamar I got because he just
Lamar's also a better guy, and B,
Well,
he also,
yes.
I mean, and B, he also entered in like a much better situation than Watson because Houston's
Oh, you
the
mean
best.
he went to a franchise that was well established and has a head coach whose last name is Harbaugh, who's not insane.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So like Lamar went to probably Lamar went to the perfect situation for him, where Harbaugh was willing to build an offense around him, and until and allowed him to take some time to grow. Because even though Lamar won the MVP in 2019, it's his 2021 was. He's had some issues. He's had consistency issues, but that's kind of gone up. But that's gone out the window this year.
There's a certain like franchises where you're like, oh well, I trust that franchise to make smart decisions. Like Baltimore's one of them. San Francisco's another one. Goddamn fucking Green Bay has not missed
Found
on
a third
quarterback.
quarterback.
They don't miss on quarterbacks. It's like, all right, Jordan Love, you're the guy. And at the expense of my fucking team, because of course, fucking Green Bay Packers. Fuck my life. So Jordan Love is the man, and he's crowned because like would
you say right now too that in addition to Dallas, you would throw Pittsburgh in there because Pittsburgh has been struggling too for quite some time.
I mean, they
you can't really trust the organization to pick.
No, Pittsburgh's had good. They're trying to figure out like they're struggling now. It's been a minute since they've struggled like this.
Pittsburgh's problem is Big Ben hung around way too long, and he was also a toddler about who would be his backup because this guy didn't want to get benched or get anything, so they just kept on kicking the can on backups, and then they picked Kenny Pickett, and now they're kind of just
I don't know if Pickett's gonna be the guy.
That's the one problem with the Steelers. They're too good. They're like Tomlin keeps them too good to get a good quarterback. So
there's a lot of fucking quarterbacks that'll be available in this draft coming up. I'll tell you that. So if you can find the right one, I don't know if it's Drake May or Caleb, Caleb's going number one regardless.
Yeah.
Despite the fact like going out as a fucking loser at 7-5 because his head coach can't fucking build a program and give him a good fucking O-line to protect him or a defense to get a stop. Fucking hell. As entertaining as it was to watch USC this year at times, God, it got pathetic. Because I was told by many experts of the football that said this was going to be the year.
I like how you called that
of the football. I was told that Bear Alexander was single-handedly going to make them a top 25 defense.
Nope.
Yeah, single-handedly, mind you.
Yeah.
Well,
you should have lost a fucking cow.
Well, he only played. Well, that was his problem. He only played with a single hand. So
it's like Caleb Williams fucking shit. What a fucking disaster that was. You know what sucks? That could have been us this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that honestly, that really could have been us.
Yeah. I mean, Sean, all of us were on a couple years ago and said, guys, it was after that Tulane game of we have to have a serious talk. And we weren't talking about firing, but like he needs an offensive coordinator.
That was like the COVID year was like what it was because I'm not going to judge or make it's like, okay, whatever the fuck happened. It was a weird year for not just your football. Everything was weird. But you get to 2021, it's like, how the fuck are we? And to Tulane's credit and Willie Fritz, it was a pretty solid program. So I'm not gonna. And it's like it literally felt like a final destination moment for that motherfucker because he survived Tulane that day. And then like the Grim Reaper was like, no, you were actually supposed to lose that day. Don't worry. You're going to go to the Cotton Bowl next year. I'm going to fix this shit. And it was a fucking final destination ending. They were up 15 fucking points and they fucking lost the game. They lost the goddamn game.
Yeah.
Like the fucking Grim Reaper made that shit happen. The Grim Reaper football. You thought you got away from Tulane. No, we're back.
I love it's the Simpsons meme. Tulane. That'd be a good SEC short, Sean. Just a joke. It would only cater to like a small amount of people. But
Well, no, in order to do that, like do a Final Destination joke or whatever, I would have to have like a crew, and I would have to have like whatever.
No, I'm
but
just saying
it's
in
like,
general, like the setup for it's there. It's pretty funny.
it was literally Final Destination. It's like, oh no, you were supposed to lose that opening game too late. So it turns out that by accident, your defensive coordinator allowed your defensive line to actually just play. Your D line is like, I'm actually going to let you guys just pass rush and just go after the quarterback. And what a fucking shock. Like guys like Nick Benito and Perrion Winfrey and Isaiah Thomas and Jalen Redmond. Oh, we actually let them just feast. They're actually pretty good.
Yeah. Dude, if we would have lost to Tulane, Norman would have melted down.
I was sitting down here in this very fucking spot going, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm trying to be, I was like,
you're trying to be the sunshine pumper.
Well, I'm not necessarily. I'm just like, oh, what the fuck is like? It's like, okay, first game, like weird shit happens. Like I'm the reason I say that shit is like I've seen enough football to know week one can be fucking weird for a lot of teams. A lot of teams week one can be weird, but it's like I get to the end, it's like, how the fuck is this still happening? What the fuck is going on? And then, then it got into the whole, rattler, the West Virginia game. Like, holy
I was
shit!
at a wedding. I didn't have to watch that.
If the West Virginia center doesn't fuck up that snap on that last drive, like we'd lose that game. We weren't stopping them.
Woo, imagine the meltdown if we lost to Tulane.
Because the West Virginia, he snapped the ball poorly and it went like 10, 50 yards behind the quarterback, and it was like impossible to convert that at that point. It was like, if that doesn't happen, we lose that game. So, and by a miracle, we put in a superhero in the second quarter of and then everything was right with the world. But then, just you talk about wanting to write a book about that fucking season and the end of that season, 2021. Like, holy fucking shit. The year that changed everything, 2021. Yeah. And it's just like,
it's wild for it. And I mean, you could say that about every game for that one of the Grim Reaper knocking on the door.
If that motherfucker Caleb Williams would have stayed for 2022, well, we were 6-7. How many games do you think just him making a difference?
I thought about this already. 3.
We probably go 9-3.
Yep.
If we're being fair here, because the Texas game, who the fuck knows, right? Because we literally had no quarterback. I don't know if Caleb is good enough to win that game single-handedly. In that with the talent around him, who knows? But we win the Baylor game, we win the K-State game, What else do we fucking embarrass ourselves? West Virginia, Texas Tech. Like, we win those games more than likely.
Now, I go back and forth. It really depends on my mood. I think in the TCU game we still would have lost, but it would have been a much closer game for it.
I mean, who knows? Again, you lose. Yeah. That's where you lose your quarter. But we weren't winning that game anyway. But it's just, and you get to this past year, and it's like, at the end of the day, people are upset how things turned out. It's like, honestly, if you promised everyone, look, you're gonna go 10-2. You're going to come up a little short with tiebreakers going to the Big 12, but you beat Texas and fuck off your bowl game, whatever it may be. So it's like, yeah, I would take that in a heartbeat, because what it shows recruits is, all right, you walked into a fucking tire fire that was lit on the way as soon as you got there. Then you rebuilt. You had to rebuild the program from scratch. You go from 6 wins to 10 wins. Now you're going to the SEC, where I know stupid OU fan will get mad if they go 9-3 and thinking we went down. I would say, no, we just joined the SEC, the toughest conference ever, especially adding OU in Texas. We should be a borderline playoff team in the 12-team format. That's an improvement, regardless, based on who you're going up against on the reg. So if this team wins 9 games next year,
that's an accomplishment. It really is. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna raise a fucking banner, but like if you go 9-3 and you're bored, there's so many other factors you can't, calculate right now. But it's like you're in the college football playoff 12-team conversation because you will have that magical SEC patch on your jersey, and I will be screaming about, well, we're in the SEC now. I heard how tough it was, right? You go 9-3, like. And some people get mad. Well, should a 9-win team really? Yeah, a 9-win team should get in this thing if they go through the SEC. Yeah. And they beat certain teams. And if we're having conversations about who strike the schedule, because everyone's telling me how tough our schedule is. Everyone's telling me it's like top 5 schedule, number 2 schedule. It's like, okay, 9 wins better get us into this motherfucker. That means you can't lose a non-conference game because our non-conference is trash. Right. So you got to beat Maine, Tulane, Houston, and fucking Temple. You gotta beat all those motherfuckers. You need to win all your home games. Road games, you're gonna get like, Ole Miss is really one of those teams that everyone's pointing to as one of those that's gonna shock people. I mean, LSU, who knows?
Alabama, who knows?
Well, I mean,
Alabama's very winnable.
Like College Football News says we're beating Alabama. And I know Bama, Kalen DeBoer got a huge win today by keeping that 5-star wide receiver because I guess the check cleared. It's like, I decommitted from Alabama. Oh, the check cleared? I have recommitted to Alabama. All right, good. Congratulations.
Good for you.
I think Texas was trying to steal him, but it's like, Texas has gotten like Ohio State. Holy fucking shit. Like losing to Michigan like 2 years in a row. Or 3 years in a row.
Yeah, 3 years.
They have lost their fucking minds, and you want to talk about they said there is a blank check. Go get everybody. Like they got Caleb fucking Downs. They got Caleb fucking Downs, man. They are fucking serious. Ohio State ain't fucking around. So losing Caleb Downs sucks. Like Alabama fans have been trying to they're in a whole new world, man. They're like, what just happened? Why is everyone leaving?
Well, they're in meltdown mode because I have to say you're right on 100%. You're right on a lot of this, but when you once said that OU and Alabama are like the flyover states, ones nobody wants to pay attention to them.
Oh, flyover states usually means you tend to be in the Alabama. Flyover states tend to be middle of the country, hence you're flying over them. So.
Well, Alabama I would include in that because now with
Nick Saban gone, it's the South.
But Nick Saban gone, they're all like, finally.
No, he's not gone. It's like, it's not gone. It's just the fact that, just because Nick Saban is like sitting in an office and like playing Candy Crush on his phone doesn't mean like players are still going to come just because he's there. You know what I mean? So it's just.
Dude, Alabama is such a meltdown mode. They're like, all right, guys, I think we need to have the talk. Who was better, Nick Saban or Bear Bryant? I'm like, dude, I'm not even a Bama fan, and it's Nick Saban. Like,
I don't know how we got there, but I don't know how we steered that.
Well, they're in full meltdown mode about Nick Saban leaving. Like, I felt bad.
He's old. He wants to retire. He wants to the man's dick still works, and he wants to okay. The man wants to enjoy his golden years, man. Come on.
I think they were convinced he was going to die, like coaching.
No, fuck you.
I think he was. I felt bad because there was a
if you
Bama fan at there was a Bama fan at go ahead.
No, if he came back another year, I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be sitting here. Well, I didn't see that. No, if he says he still wants to do it, but you saw the signs a couple years ago when he has to beg his boosters, like, can you please drop some more cash because A&M is stealing all these players that we would normally get, and it would be really cool if we could get the NIL shit moving. And it's and it didn't really matter because fucking Texas A&M, you can get all the great players you want. Jimbo Fisher can't fucking coach anymore. Apparently, there's no alignment there. Yeah. God, it's still so it is still so fucking funny how they fell flat on their fucking faces. God, it is still hilarious. We got the greatest recruit class of all time. Gig 'em, and you didn't do fucking shit with it.
8-4.
Fuck you. You didn't do fucking shit. Oh, you beat Bama. Here's your beat Bama banner. We got one too. You want to share? Let's compare and contrast. Here's our beat Bama banner. It says Sugar Bowl on it because we got a trophy for winning that. But back when bowl games still mattered. But it's But beating Bama isn't the standard anymore. So even if we do beat Bama, even if we beat Bama, great. Beating Georgia is the standard, and Bama got that banner with an SEC title on their way out. So,
yep.
So congratulations.
I'll say, at work, I felt bad because we have a hardcore Bama fan, and I broke the news to her.
Never feel bad.
Nick Saban was.
No, they've won so much. No, that's like me going up to like Bezos and saying, "Sir, I'm sorry, you've only made $5 million today."
What, to Jeff Bezos?
Yeah, I don't know. Fuck, I don't know the money. Fuck, it doesn't matter.
Dude, I would probably, if I was Jeff Bezos and that was the only amount I made, I would kill myself. I'm Jeff fucking Bezos.
My point is,
we only made how much?
My point is, he has enough money. You have too much money.
You know who I am, Andrew.
You realize how much that motherfucker is worth, right? I would dude, he can't. $5 million can't put gas in his fucking private jet.
I wasn't thinking the numbers through. Doesn't matter. But the point is, he has
Swiggy,
enough.
he is Seto fucking Kaiba. Don't you know this? He has money coming out the wazoo. Yes, no. Anyway, go ahead.
Money. I feel bad. I feel this. No, don't feel bad. Bama's had enough success. They can be unsuccessful.
No.
It is never enough. You kidding me?
Bama. So the Bama one is like, it's the weirdest one because I would say that is the toughest job to go to because the expectations are so to the moon at this point. Like whoever goes next in the sense of it, we know who, DeBauer, but they're gonna hate him.
Caleb DeBauer, man. Like it doesn't matter what that guy does. It's like. No. Like, I guarantee the dude could be here's what's going to happen. The dude could be a really solid coach at Bama and quote unquote make the playoff on the reg. It's not going to matter.
No.
Because not only is he following Nick Saban, he's also, it's a lot harder now to win a natty than it's ever been. It's legit for the first time at fucking ever for like legit, but it doesn't matter. If Coach Saban were here, Paul Feinbaum, he would have won 58 games in a row. We would have that's the fucking mindset of these morons. Like Caleb DeBoer could like we'll see how recruiting is because like if you thought recruiting was just going to be easy, Alabama just because.
Nope.
Yeah. That's why I say that's why they use the flyover state term for it because it's not going to get easier. It's going to get harder for them.
Again, we already got motherfuckers picking us to beat them this year. So that's one. I just look at that and go, oh, really? You're picking us to beat them? I mean, it is in Norman. It is going to be the biggest home game. Like, that's our biggest home game since fucking what? Ohio State?
Ohio State.
Fuck Nebraska. That was a nostalgia game more than I'm
talking 2000. I'm talking 2000 Nebraska.
Oh, I thought you meant like 20. I thought you meant like 2021.
No. I'm talking 2000.
Because like 2021 it was like
Ohio State. Yeah.
Because I saw 2021 it was like, oh look, it's a nostalgia game. There are people wearing Nebraska helmets out there, but I don't look at them as Nebraska.
Right.
There are a bunch of guys wearing their helmets. By the way, did you something interesting that I saw today? There was a tweet from a day or two ago. Let me see if I can find it. So, TV viewership for college football, 50% of the total viewers come from 18 schools.
I believe that.
I have not seen that. Can you send that to me? Like,
let's play a game. Let's see if you can name the 18 schools.
Sure, Gavin. Like, throw a name out.
To throw a name.
Let's play. Let's say Ohio State.
Correct. That's one.
Is that number one?
Well, they're not ranked. They're just like.
Okay. So
I mean, there is a chart here, but it's like not. I can't tell who. Let's just.
Sure. So
actually, I could probably figure out who number one is by these, but just Ohio State's one.
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame is 2.
OU.
3.
Michigan.
4.
Georgia.
5.
Alabama.
6.
USC.
7.
Texas.
8.
Oregon.
9.
Florida.
Yeah, now it's starting to get hard.
10.
What'd you say, Gavin?
Florida. Florida's is 1. 10.
I'll say Tennessee.
11.
Oh man, now that's getting hard. I'm thinking Washington.
12. Yes.
Oh, cool, got it.
Okay, this is gonna be
Penn State.
13.
Okay, have we get Michigan yet?
Yeah, you got Michigan.
Said Michigan, yeah.
Shoot.
LSU.
14.
Texas.
We already said Texas.
Said Texas.
Texas.
Clemson.
Yeah, so LSU is 14.
Clemson.
Ole Miss.
Hey, hang on. So you said Clemson, 15.
Ole Miss.
No, Ole Miss is not in
there. There's a school with they have wacky numbers. For
there
Nebraska.
is no. There are 3 left.
Really?
There are 3 left.
Florida State.
Yes, that's 16. These last two might be a little tough, but they'll make like one of them's like you'll be a little surprised, but the other one will be like, oh, that makes sense because of
Texas A&M.
No, the A&M is
Nebraska.
I'll say Rutgers.
We already said Nebraska.
No.
I think what's it called? Arkansas.
No.
Really? I'm actually surprised on that.
No,
Damn.
Arkansas would draw people.
Missouri?
No.
Really? Oh wow, we're getting into some security. Utah.
Wisconsin?
Utah.
No. You already said Clemson. If you said Clemson,
No, he said
Wisconsin.
Can we go with Oregon?
Wisconsin is 17. Yeah, Wisconsin is on the list.
I'm not surprised on that one. They're wild for their football.
And there's one more.
I'm trying to think.
It'll make if you pair it up with another team that was already mentioned, it makes sense.
Is it
Auburn.
Oregon?
We already said Oregon. Yeah.
Oh.
Auburn.
Correct. Auburn. That's 18.
Okay. There we go.
So the list is no particular order: Bama, Ohio State, Georgia, Michigan, Clemson, Notre Dame, OU, LSU, Penn State, Texas, Auburn, Florida, Wisconsin, Washington, FSU, Tennessee, USC, and Oregon. They make up for 50% of college football TV numbers.
That's wild, and it's not at the same time though, because
all of your typical blue bloods except Nebraska are on that list because that's
they don't have the market.
Well, it's not about the market. It's that we've gone through. It's been so long since Nebraska has been relevant.
Yeah,
that those days are over. So whenever people say, "Is Oklahoma going to go the way of Nebraska?" Bitch, please.
Wow.
So whenever these teams get together, I honestly think, especially over the past year or two, Michigan's like at the top of the list for viewership because Michigan's fan base is like fucking gigantic, along with Ohio State.
And
like
Notre
those
Dame.
Are two. You got a lot of Subway alumni for Notre Dame, but yeah, Notre Dame's like when Notre Dame played Ohio State this year, gigantic game.
Oh yeah,
but yeah, it's I'm gonna bring this up with Eric next week. I just thought this was fascinating.
Where was
only 10% of the total views from the bottom 71 schools. So if you're the bottom 71, only 10% of the viewers.
That's actually I know you're probably gonna bring it up with Eric as well, but you're talking TV and stuff. How big of an impact is it that WWE is moving to Netflix?
Oh, it's huge. It's like the writing's on the wall because at some point like it's not a matter of if, it's when. Like you're going to have multiple streaming services to watch your live sports. It's coming. I don't know when or how. Like everyone talks about whether Disney is trying to sell off ESPN or keep ESPN. I do believe the day is coming where because they're trying to figure it out right now. ESPN is trying to figure out, Disney's trying to figure out how can we package ESPN to an online streaming service specifically if that's all you want.
Yeah.
Because people, I don't like the only reason that I still want to have cables for live sports for the most part. There are very, very few things I would watch on regular television.
You're telling me you don't want to watch National Treasure on rerun on TNT?
I mean, listen, like nobody loves the last 10 minutes of certain movies more than I do. I mean, I always like to catch the last 10 minutes of a Star Wars or a Fast and Furious. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because then you can claim that you saw it.
Yeah.
Did you sit around for this? Of course I did.
I like to sit around and watch the end to one where Toretto is like, he helped stop the bad guy, and he was supposed to. They're hoping he get like a pardon from the government, and then they still send him to jail, and then the rest of the team just, at the end of the movie, they, take down the convoy that was transporting him and save him anyway. Again,
they did the thing. Yeah.
I don't know which movie that was because I don't watch the Fast and Furious movies. I don't hate them or anything. I just don't really watch them.
They're all the same.
I know they're all the same.
I mean,
so whenever I see them, it's like they all look the same. Fast cars go vroom. The only thing they haven't done is go to fucking outer space, and that day is coming. They will go to outer space.
They went to outer space.
Yes, they did.
Oh, they did? Fuck me.
Yeah, the last one they went to outer space.
They actually went to outer fucking space.
It was the biggest joke because everyone went, remember the days when it was just like, let's go rob a bank. No, they went to outer space.
They went to outer space, and then the cars like enter the atmosphere, and they didn't burn up, and then you hear "ba with the ba, the bang, the bang, It's out of nowhere.
I'm sorry to disappoint you. They literally jumped
your cars have been souped up with like the same stuff on the space shuttle, so they will burn up on re-entry.
It's all about family.
It's all about family.
If you're talking about ratings here, I was trying to Google it, Sean, just to see some numbers. What do you think was the top game this year? That was
it was a game Michigan played in without question.
It was Michigan, Ohio State.
It was either Ohio State or Bama.
It was
in the
Bama.
Rose Bowl. Yeah, the Rose Bowl.
It was Bama. So what about So Ohio State, Michigan was number 3. What do you think number 2 was?
Texas, Alabama.
Yeah, Texas, Alabama is on that list, of course.
No. No.
OU, Texas, maybe is on the list.
Texas, Alabama.
OU, Texas has to be on the list.
It's number 22.
That was
Texas, Alabama.
It wasn't a quote unquote
18.
top 10 matchup because OU was the underdog, and so. But I'm sure there was a lot.
Bama, Georgia.
For number 2.
Yeah, the SEC title
Bama,
game.
Georgia. Yeah, that was number 5.
Number 2.
Yeah, so you don't have number 2 and number 4.
Ohio State, Notre Dame.
That's 5.
Because those are
number 9. That's a number 9.
Number 2 game.
So y'all said Michigan, Alabama, Ohio State, Michigan, and then Alabama, Georgia.
The number 2 game of the year.
Yeah.
God damn.
Wow.
Who do Ohio State?
You're gonna go, of course. That was it.
SC Colorado?
Oregon, Washington?
Hold on. You said Oregon, Washington. Which one?
The Big 12, Pac-12 champ game. I don't know.
It was on a Friday night by itself, so.
Or was it? No, actually, no. It was probably. I take it back. I feel stupid.
It was the original game was like on a Saturday because the Pac-12's like
Michigan number 2 had to be Michigan, Washington.
Yep, you're right.
Yeah, I was overthinking it.
Oh yeah, the national title game. Okay, yeah. Sure. Yeah.
Yep. And then number 4, I mean, just to throw it out there because it's that Washington, Texas. But to answer your question, I think it was Washington, Oregon. I think it was number 13. 5,
whatever.
6, 7, 8.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, 13 for the Pac-12 championship.
Just think about the TV numbers OU's going to get next year with some of those games.
A lot.
Like OU Tennessee, OU Auburn, OU Texas, of course, OU Bama, OU LSU. Like fuck, dude. Yeah. Especially if OU wins, and keeps going. Like, I don't know what LSU is going to be next year. Like. I keep looking at LSU as like I look at them like I looked at TCU. It's like we'll know what they are by the time we get to that game. It's where LSU is not going to be a catch you off guard type of game. Now the crowd will. Yeah. Now it all depends how passionate that crowd would be, what time of the day it is, and if it's going to be a night game. If it's like a top tier game will fuck our lives because that's gonna be a tough game to win. But if LSU's like 8-4 or 8-3 or some bullshit, we're going to who knows. But it would still be tough. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, there's a lot of like big time match. We don't have unfortunately we do not now. You want to talk about instant like TV numbers? Texas going to Michigan next year. No Harbaugh though. Sherrone Moore likely the head coach. So I think Texas winning that game just based on who's like because Michigan loses everybody.
Well,
right. I mean, love or hate, Texas is going to win that game just based on who they got coming back. Now, they lose some key pieces too, but like they know who their quarterback is at the very least. So, and of course, just in case, worst case, they have the crown prince of college football right behind them. So, he'll swoop in. He'll be like those angels in the outfield, but he'll just like sprout the wings, like what's his name from the X-Men, Angel, and just just lead them to victory. So worst case scenario, but they're saving him. They're saving him.
I'm honestly surprised he didn't hit the transfer portal when he found out.
Everyone tried to fake rumors on the internet. And I just laughed at that shit. Like that shit was hilarious. It's like this you're trying to tell me that this motherfucker is like the next coming and he's still not playing. It's like you can like when I went to that game last year, there was a part of me like I'm not wishing for injury, but if Quinn tweaked an ankle, I mean Arch wouldn't get in there anyway. They would put in freaking what's his face who eventually transferred and it's just like he wasn't really that good either. He was good enough to keep them from losing to K-State. They should have lost that game. K-State screwed the pooch on that one.
Yep.
Should have lost that game. The Houston game, the refs fucked Houston royally.
Oh, yeah, they did.
They fucked them so hard.
Oh, yeah.
They cashed the check of we need to go to the playoff.
They said, you figured the refs would screw Texas for leaving. No. They like money more. But definitely a.
Here we go. I found it. All right, so Sean, from your list. Okay, here's the final thing for tonight. From the numbers list, who do you think was number one for the most views for a team?
Michigan.
No, it was not.
It wasn't Georgia.
Georgia?
No.
Texas?
Ohio State.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to go to Ohio State. I knew it has to be a Big Ten team. It's either Michigan or Ohio State.
Yeah, Ohio State.
Because Ohio State has had more games that were worth a shit. Michigan didn't play fucking anybody till November.
Yet they were number 3 on the list.
They didn't play fucking anybody.
More of it, yeah.
They literally played an old school 1970 style schedule where they had 2 games that were worth a shit. Their entire schedule was just fucking, and it wasn't just because they were so good. It was partially because they cheated, but also the rest of the Big Ten is trash.
Yes.
It was so, and their non-conference was disgustingly bad. Awful. Michigan State sucks really bad right now. Who knows what's going to happen with they got to rebuild again because their former head coach can't keep it in his pants on the phone. But
and he's banned from all Michigan State stuff. Period.
It's like you fucking tried to do phone sex. It's like, what the fuck? Ugh. Just Mel Tucker, you idiot. And they paid that man. They gave him the contract, and he fucked it up.
Wow, Sean, I really want to emphasize this because look at the numbers. You're right, because when you look at all the teams like the bottom 50 and all that, they're only pulling in 130,000 people watching their games, if that.
It all depends when they're on. It all depends where their games are aired, what time. Pac-12 after dark was a cute little thing. That's gonna be Big 10 after dark or Big 12 after dark, and pick your poison. But it's which is funny. Not everyone's a psychopath who spends an entire Saturday watching games from noon until 1:00 in the morning, like I do.
I'm sorry, I'm not. But Sean, it's exactly what you said too.
That's because you're weak, Josh. You are weak.
Yep. I am.
I was brave enough to stay up late and watch the end of that Washington Arizona State game because like I have no idea what the fuck's about to happen, but Arizona State's driving down the field. We'll see what happens here. Oh, a pick six, the only touchdown Washington scores all day.
Of course, there was the but it's the you're using the Arizona as the example. The boo-hoo on Arizona. Arizona is the lowest Big 12 school with it at only 100 or 434,000 people watching their game.
Yeah,
They don't draw people.
Well, because they're not serious. I mean, if you're an Arizona fan, why do you care? You had a great bowl game, and when your coach was straight up pinched by Washington, didn't even offer.
He took the coaching staff with him, and he tried to get some players to come with him, but like the two top players were the quarterback, and was like, "We're staying," and they're heroes to everybody now for staying. So
yeah. Well, it's just like Colorado actually ended up number 4 on the list for views, but we know that's an anomaly because everybody tuned in to watch them leave.
I mean, yeah, it's gonna be. I mean, that's not long term for Colorado. I mean, I guess if Deion stays, but he's not going to. But I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a mind reader. I can't. I'm not a fortune teller. But yeah, I mean, but Arizona's just not serious about football. If you're not serious, if you're not serious, you know what? You kind of get. I don't feel that bad. I don't feel that bad if you're not serious. Like you have to be willing to put down some investment. You have to be willing to go for it. Yeah, like if you just want to have football, go 8 and whatever every year, have a few, just do it for the hell of it. Fine, that's totally fine. But you can't let even though you're not even in the same conference, you can't let Washington just take your coach and be like, okay, thanks, bye.
They don't have any money. Yeah. That's all good. Don't worry, they'll get that big 12 check for the new TV deal, whatever the fuck.
Like I said, Sean, I think that was a fascinating topic to bring up because it goes into like it's the thing that's wild to me is, I think it's an anomaly. Fox Big Noon was the number 2 best time slot.
Well, because
it was Michigan.
Well, because they forced people to watch it at that time. Because if you put big games there, yeah, of course it's going to be. But like, coaches and fans are still going to get pissed over it. But Fox is like, no, we decided noon is our thing, and we're going to a conference where noon is not necessarily the thing. Now, here's the thing: we will be playing noon games in the SEC. Anyone thinks we're not, all those noon games go away? No. We will probably play Missouri at noon. You know what I mean? It's probably going to be one of the.
Yeah, and that's fine. I don't care if we have noon games. I just don't want it to be the overwhelming.
No, we're going to be on. There'll be games. Will be on SEC Network at 7. That's fine.
Yeah,
I'll live.
The issue has always been we don't like having the majority when we're the ones being the breadwinners of the conference. I did a spreadsheet of it. OU had like the single most, besides Kansas, 11 a.m. kicks since like formation of new Big 12. It was ridiculous. It wasn't even close.
Just wanted to play Nebraska.
Meanwhile, guess who was at the bottom? Texas.
Of course.
Yeah, because Texas wasn't good for a lot of that. Texas
had 7 a.m. or 7 p.m. kickoffs.
Well, no, but I'm saying, Texas wasn't good. Yeah, that's because Texas wasn't good enough for Fox to try and push them into Big Noon. They would. If Texas had been good and had some top tier matchups, they would have. It would have been more equitable.
Or they're gonna have back-to-back top tier matchups when they play us, and the next week they got to play Georgia. Like, listen, like we think Alabama and LSU back-to-back might be tough for OU. We think it might be. I mean, it will be, but for Texas, like in the middle of the year, you get to play Red River Shootout next week. You play in Georgia.
Which is funny because when
I saw that shit, I'm like, that is so fucking not fair.
Well, it's what they said too. It's like when schedule first released, OU's looked like the tougher schedule. That's starting to flip to Texas a little bit.
I'm sure. Someone find me a schedule of someone who had to play Bama, Nick Saban, Bama, and like Les Miles LSU, or just a good LSU team. I want to find someone in the SEC West like an Auburn or Mississippi State who had those back to back. Like, because it's just like you got to play your biggest rival, and then you got to play the one who runs the conference now. It doesn't matter. Like no one cares. Like Bama won the last SEC championship like just recently, but it's like it's still Georgia's conference right now. That fucking Orange Bowl was a disgrace to football. Why do they play that game?
I mean, you
fucking disgrace.
In a sense, you could say Florida this year because they played Missouri and then they had to go play Florida State.
That's not even remotely the same thing. Not even remotely the same thing.
Rival, I would say Florida State for sure.
It's not even remotely the same thing. You know what?
Your rival.
Okay, I want you to imagine, like, forget like Texas playing us and then Georgia is like more difficult than Red October.
Okay, yeah, I could see that
because OU at least had a bye week before Nebraska. You got to go neutral site, play Oklahoma, who beat you last year and likely is capable of doing it again. And I believe that's in Austin, correct? Because if that's on the, I don't think that's on the road. That's got to be in Austin. Because they didn't. Let me look this up. They didn't fuck them that hard, did they?
I could throw at you 2019 LSU, October 2016. Or they faced number 9 Auburn and turn around had to go face number 3 Alabama at Bryant-Denny.
Okay, but to be fair though,
but they had a break though. They had a break. Never mind.
Okay, so yeah, but that was like one of the best teams in recent memory. All right. They host Georgia, so but
that is a LSU would be the one I would think.
You know what? I'm going to say this right now because I just noticed something. They play OU, then they play Georgia, then they go on the road at Vanderbilt, and then they get an off week. I think you need to circle that Vanderbilt game just for if you're betting for. I want to know what the spread is when we get to it.
See, and I can't doubt you on that because you're probably going to be damn right.
You got to play You play OU, Georgia. You get Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt's. I don't think Vanderbilt will beat them, but man, we saw Bama this year go to South Florida in the rain, and it was 3-3 through like 3 quarters.
Okay, I did find one very tough SEC run. 2012 Mississippi State.
There you go.
At Alabama, at home against A&M, who was 16 at the time, and then the 3rd week in a row at number 7 LSU.
That's pretty, yeah.
That's like the
That's
toughest.
brutal.
That's like the toughest of scenes.
So
that's
yeah,
like
Texas like us has a bye week before Red River. They got to play Georgia the very next week. I think like Texas schedule overall is easier, but like man, I look at our people says how tough our schedule is, and I agree to an extent, but it's like we play 1, 2, 3, 4 straight home games, start the year. Then we go to Auburn, who's rebuilding, an off week. Then we play Texas. Then we come and play South Carolina, who's Beamer's trying to build that up. Then on the road at Ole Miss. Then we get a break with Maine. Then we go at Missouri. Then we get an off week for a bit. See, what I love about our schedule is that up until the very end, we get the perfect amount of breathing room. Like Temple, Houston, Tulane, Tennessee, 4 straight home games. Boom, boom, boom. You can't be more comfortable than that. Then you go on the road at Auburn. You get a week off to get ready for Texas. Then you come home to play South Carolina, who God knows who. And then you get ready to Ole Miss is going to be like all due respect to Auburn. Ole Miss is going to be the toughest road game up to that point of the year. Then you get a breather with Maine. Then you go back on the road to Missouri off. It's just our schedule sets up nicely if they stay healthy and they can figure out the O-line situation.
Yeah.
I just if we have to play Georgia and if we have good Lord, if we go to Atlanta year 1, I will be a fucking prick. Oh my god, I will be the biggest prick on the internet that week.
Okay,
Yeah.
one last one because I did find it. 2011 Volunteers at home against number 1 LSU, away against number 2 Bama, and then at home against number 13 South Carolina because nothing ever makes sense.
Yeah.
Like I said,
that was I mean, so there have been times it's tough. There have been times it's tough. That was like, yeah.
I'm trying to see.
man, we beat Texas. All bets are off.
Yeah.
We beat Texas again. It's like, okay, here we go. Like, I think the most hilarious thing would be if we had an OU Texas SEC title.
Oh, that'd be hysterical. I mean, Sean, I would throw in 2008 Oklahoma because we had to do number 2 Texas Tech, then go face number 11 Oklahoma State.
Yeah, it's not that's not the same thing.
I understand it's not the same thing, but
I understand what you're trying to say. Is like no. Texas Tech was ranked number 2. They were not the number 2 team.
No.
They their cart broke down on the train tracks, and the train was coming through, and they were not meant to be. But I look at Texas' schedule, and it's like, okay, they should be undefeated. I mean, Tennessee's going to be tough at home because they believe in their young QB as much as we do ours. So the Jackson Arnold versus Nico QB battle will be something to behold. But like I expect them to be 6-0 by the time they play us. Oh, I'm sorry, 5-0. I was counting their spring game. Well, I mean, might as well count that as a win for Texas because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, they should be 5-0 when they play us. Could you imagine if they go 5 and all of a sudden they're 5-2? They go to Nashville and they have a bad first half. Oh my god,
the meltdowns will be fantastic.
But I wouldn't. But I would actually go on. I'll tell you this right now. I'll have to remember this. Like a mental note. If we beat them and they lose to Georgia, and they go into Nashville, they're struggling in the first half, I will get on camera immediately. Go look. They just went through us and Georgia. I'm going to stick up for Texas and Texas fans right now. Win or lose this game, y'all are hurt. Y'all are hurting right now. I am not going to hold this against you. If you fuck up and lose, it will be hilarious. But at the same time, I don't blame you. Your biggest rival and Georgia is waiting for you at home. Like you just imagine Texas. They get back again from Dallas and they're all beaten, bruised, and they just came up short a little bit again. And they just want to get home. They walk in through their front door, and the lights are off. They turn the lights off, and there's Georgia just like laying out on their sofa, drinking their soda, just saying, "Hey, sup? We got a game, right?" You're just like, oh. I'm all relaxed and refreshed and ready to go because who does Georgia play on the 12th? You want to know who Georgia plays on the 12th? At home against Mississippi State. Yeah, I just warmed up with Mississippi State. No big deal. Reminded them who the real Bulldogs are in this conference. By the way, I'll be sleeping in your bed tonight. Your couch is very comfortable.
You want to fight for it?
It's just like I was just like they walk in, all of a sudden they are laying down on my couch, drinking my soda. It's like, the fuck? I don't know. It's funnier than drinking your beer. I just think soda's funnier. This comes off as funnier.
Okay, I think it's funnier, but that's
what's
me.
up? It's like, you son of a bitch. Baja Blast is only limited for a couple months. Just drinking his Baja Blast that he saved up, that he bought at Walmart.
By the way,
motherfucker.
Other thing
Sean,
I'm not
you're
going to
right.
miss.
Go ahead.
Other thing I'm not going to miss. Waiting for the Big 12 schedule to release.
Yeah.
Oh no!
it's fuck
Oh no!
that
We get
shit.
prime. Oh, we get prime time announcements for that on our own channel. It's great.
Oh, yeah.
It's fun. We no, we get to have that now. But I'm looking forward to July SEC Media Days. We get to be a part of it, baby. SEC Media Days. It's coming.
Just
First,
like
our
we'll
first
hear all the
media
Paul
days.
Feinbaum, like, it's gonna be fantastic.
I'm gonna have Paul Feinbaum on all week. It's gonna be great. We're gonna be like us in Texas. We're gonna be the new kids on the block. Everyone going to talk about us and going to welcome us in. It's gonna be like the big welcome OU Texas like banners and all that stuff. It just means more. They're gonna teach us all these things. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be fantastic. It's been 3 years in the making. 3 years. I was, I held out hope for 2023. I really wanted 2020, but you know what? We're in the calendar year now. We finally made it to the calendar year. The video games coming back and all this fun stuff is happening. So it's a good day. It's a good year.
It is. Sean, I've been trying to find what you said on like find a good more back to back outside of probably OU. That's difficult. I thought there would be a little more like turn around, face your rival. No, like that's a lot more difficult than I thought. And I'm not counting like the championship games or anything either, too.
Oh, Josh,
Like
you have
the SEC title game or thing.
Oh, Josh, you have your
Huh?
tickets ready?
For what?
You're very ready for Madam Web, right?
Oh, sure.
Well, just a few weeks away. Come on. I'm sure Sony's doing everything they can to promote that movie by letting leaks come in from like soda bottles from the Philippines.
Neat. I'm so thrilled. Oh boy, Madam Web.
This isn't true at all. But the fact that I had to pause a moment to say, you know what, I could see them doing that, doing something stupid like that. The rumor to be changing up Uncle Ben's quote with great power comes great responsibility, which isn't happening.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Oh,
yeah.
Come on. Yeah, come on. Come on.
No.
You're totally ready, aren't you?
No. I'm so not ready. So, guys, we've hit like an hour and 45 minutes. So let's wrap this up. That's how not ready I am for Madam Web. Sean, Swig, I want to thank you for joining. For anybody who watched and everything, I want to thank y'all for joining. Be sure to comment, rate, subscribe, hit the bell. When we go live, upload a video. I think we're going to try to live stream here in like a week or two on Sunday for football stuff, catch up on recruiting, see what everything's going on with the NFL. Not going to live stream during Super Bowl, obviously, because I'm going to stuff my face and my body weight with snacks and food. So Boomer Sooner, guys, only one, and we'll probably have our next live stream for Hangout sometime in like middle, third week or fourth week of February. So hope everyone has a good night. Stay warm. Later.
Talk to you.
Oh wait, one more thing.